Hello everybody. Today we're going to multiply by powers of 10. So first, let's go over some vocabulary. This is kind of a review. But first, factors are numbers that are multiplied to get a product. Product is the answer to a multiplication problem. A multiple of a number is a product of a given number and another whole number. So as you know, if I have a problem like 3 times 4, 3 and 4 are my factors. 12 is the product. Multiples of a given number are the product. So if I was looking for multiples of 3, it would be 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, and so on. Because when you multiply 3 by a whole number, that is the product. So these are all multiples of 3. Now let's multiply by powers of 10. So if I have 3 times 10, we know 3 times 10, 3 times 1 is 3, so 3 times 10 is 30. If we multiply 3 times 100, the answer is 300. If we multiply 3 times 1,000, the answer is 3,000. So as you can see, there's a pattern here. And when we're multiplying by 10, it's 10 times greater. So we move the place over once. If we multiply by 100, it's 100 times greater. So the place gets moved over twice. If we multiply by 1,000, the place gets moved over 3 times. So 3 becomes 3,000. Now let's look at 3 times 100. We can show 100 as a power of 10 by using an exponent. So rather than 3 times 100, we can think of this as 3 times 10 times 10. And another way to show 10 times 10 is 10 to the second power. So 10 to the second power equals 10 times 10. And we can expand this out. 10 to the third power equals 10 times 10 times 10, which equals 10 times 10 is 100. 100 times 10 is 1,000. 10 to the fourth power would equal 10 times 10 times 10 times 10, which would equal 10,000, because 10 times 10 is 100. 100 times 10 is 1,000. 1,000 times 10 is 10,000. And we could keep going. 10 to the fifth power equals 10 times 10 times 10 times 10 times 10, which is equal to 100,000. So for example, if we had 73 times 10 to the second power, that would equal 7,300, because 10 to the second power is the same as saying 100. Let's look at a few more problems. 3 times 7, is 21. So 30 times 7 is going to be 210. It's 10 times greater. And 300 times 7 would be 2,100. Now this next problem, 80 times 500, if we think 8 times 5 is 40, so 80 times 5 would be 400. So 80 times 50 would be 4,000, and 80 times 500 would be 40,000. If you notice the place here, we have 3 places here filled in by zeros, and we have 3 places here filled in by zeros. You got to remember this 0 here is part of the original answer of 8 times 5. So 8 times 5 is 40. but then we have 3 additional places that it moves, so it's 40,000. 50 times 60, if you think about 5 times 6 is 30. So 50 times 6 would be 300. So 50 times 60 would be 3,000. So this next one's 100 times 20. So we know 1 times 2 equals 2. 10 times 2 equals 20. 100 times 2 equals 200. So 100 times 20 would be 2,000. This next problem is 0 times 50 times 800. This might look hard, but boy is this simple, because anything multiplied by 0 is 0. So the answer is 0. And the last one I'm going to show you is 500 times 40. We know 5 times 4 is 20. So 50 times 4 would be 200. 500 times 4 would be 2,000. 500 times 40 would be 20,000. So there's some examples. I want you to give it a try. And for watching this whole video and paying attention, you just got the answers for number 1, 2, and 3 on the Go formative. So now it's your turn to try it. Good luck.